Before our next panel joins, I want to thank a few more partners, including Dr. Bronner's, Best Day Brewing, Bonapack, Daily Crunch, Fairhaven Orchards, Oddbirds, Saffron Road, and Traditional Medicinals. Give them a round of applause. You've been enjoying their products. Thank you. In this next session, we're going to talk about the sustainability efforts in the private sector and look at how mission-driven brands are spearheading progress. We have Giovanni Quaratesi, the head of corporate global affairs at Certified Origins. Round of applause for him. Samantha Sackin, the vice president of integrated marketing for Organic Valley. Round of applause. And Joseph Brinkley, the senior director of regenerative and organic development at Bonterra Organic Estates. Round of applause. So I believe there's a special tasting experience going around. I hope so, but you'll hear more about that as it unfolds, because it features the products from these great folks. So my first question is for all of you. You're at your companies because you find a real value and meaning in what you do. Can you talk about what brought you to this work and what brought you to the private sector especially? Giovanni.
Thank you, Danny. And again, thank you for having me. I love Food Tank. I've been following your work
Thank you for your partnership.
for 10 years, and you guys are amazing. So the reason why I work for Certified Origins is that it's not because I'm Italian and the company is based in Italy, but it's because it's a company that's cooperative owned. It was founded by two large cooperatives of farmers in Tuscany that really wanted to bring authentic extra virgin olive oil into the world that they were very proud of. And by working with them, I had the opportunity to help them to make basically better money, better income, and just keep doing what they're doing. And over the years working in this company, I realized that our scope and our mission was much further than just Tuscany. It grew to Italy and then Spain and Tunisia.
Sure.
So now we are a global company that is able to help olive farmers and other farmers for other products to keep doing what they love doing and make sure that they get recognized their work through dollars.
You're keeping that culture alive that's so important for
Correct.
those farmers. Thank you for that. Samantha, I feel like young people, as we've discussed earlier today, care more about where their food comes from than ever before. And I know you're noticing the same thing. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, and thank you again for including us. This is so special to us. I think one of the reasons why I'm even at Organic Valley is because of that generation. It's because of my kids. In fact, my daughter is in the room today.
Aww.
So a little shout out to
Give
Jackie.
her a round of applause.
And it was actually it was a conversation I had with Jackie many years ago where we were talking about what was happening in the world, and she said, "Mama, it is not up to my generation alone to fix this. You have to do this and start now." And it was a huge wake-up call because I'd been spending 20 years working in CPG and for some big brands, and I learned a lot, nothing wrong with CPG, but I realized at that moment I needed to do something different and take my skills to a place that could really benefit the world. And so we moved from Los Angeles, California, just a couple years ago, where I'm actually a fourth-generation Angelino, to Lafarge, Wisconsin, a town of less than 800, because we believed in Organic Valley and knowing that this wasn't just a brand I'd work for, but really a belief in a better food system. And as I spent time with farmers and with the team and just talking to folks and really understanding that I have that power that I have, that my kids expect from me, that I expect from myself, that I can do some real good.
Yeah, that cooperative model is so special that Rick talked about this morning, and I can see why you would want to make that move. So thanks for explaining that. Joseph, I'm hoping you can talk about the consumer education that, helps eaters really understand why you all are committed to practices that, again, can help people and the planet.
Yeah, great. I think first, give it up for Danny, Bernie, Food Tank for hosting this event. At the end of the day, the message needs to get out. So as important as farming in certain ways is, we need a message out there, and a lot of people don't know the message, so I appreciate this opportunity. I came to Bonterra Organic Estates after a stint in Napa with wine. Napa's like the pinnacle for many, and it's an amazing place to grow wine grapes. What attracted me to Bonterra Organic Estates is that it's an organic product that's accessible. So we're talking like a $10 price point, right? Farmed organically, certified. So to me, to be able to do biodynamic at the time, now regenerative organic farming at scale helps to kind of break down some of those myths that you have to be supported by a foundation or you have to be really
Right.
small or something. So that to me is important, and this is how, many ways we're trying to get this message across to the consumer as to why to support farmers like us and others in this space.
Thank you for that. And it comes down to consumer education because, they have so many choices and many of us want to buy what we believe in. So I think it's so important. This is a question for all of you because, we all do, as I said, want to buy things that are good for ourselves, good for the planet, but there's this question of price point and accessibility, and it's all something that you have to grapple with. So, Giovanni, do you want to talk about that? Because I love your olive oil, but I know you've sent it to me for free.
And then you are trying on the ice cream, I believe. There is some of it on the ice cream you're getting. So the Certified Origins has some brands, but also is very much engaged with private label, like store brands. Mm-hmm. If you're familiar with store brands, you probably know that cover about 25% of the sales that the U.S. retail market has. So it's a nice percentage of sales. And those sales usually go to a group of consumers that are very attentive to cost. And working with a private label company allows us to kind of jump all the middle distributors and work directly with the retailers that are in control or the brand, because they own the brand, the store brand, and they are capable for that reason to keep their cost slightly lower. Our mission as Certified Origins is to increase the bar of quality and traceability and transparency for those store brands and the partners that choose to work with us. Not all of them want to work with us, but we are very much aware of the constraint of costs that people are facing. In fact, in the last 2-3 years, store brand sales are going up and brands are losing ground in that sense. And a big factor of it is it's also price. People have less money to spend. So we're very well aware, but if you work with the right retailer, you teach the buyer, the food buyer that holds an immense power in choosing what we end up eating at the end. You can really, I experienced myself that you can make a point for better quality even in store brands, and you can have successful programs both for the farmers, they're engaged in producing the product, both for the retailer that can have a better margin versus selling a brand, and of course for who buys that brand and enjoys that olive oil that is healthier, is traceable, is transparent, and overall can make you like a little happier at the end of the day.
A little happier at the end of the day. I think that makes a lot of sense. Samantha?
We really believe that food should be nourishing, it should be vibrant, it should help to really feed you, and it's a choice that you have to make. And we choose to make sure that we're creating foods that can actually help our farmers survive, and they can create this beautiful, delicious food that's flavorful and will enhance your life and will pay out in healthy dividends. But we know that can be a challenge, and so we also look at when you make a choice, it's like, I think Rick mentioned it earlier, do you buy that $6 latte, which I'm guilty of doing, or do I buy a half gallon of milk for my family? That is also that whole delicious milk that I know that Sabrina or Josh, it came from their farms. It's helping to support them. Love you. And it makes such a difference. And I know that that will last more than my quick little latte break.
Right.
But it's hard. It's a definite choice, and it's something we're sensitive to because food should be for everyone. And hopefully if more people farm, caring about sustainability and organic, that will then create less ultra-processed foods and more people having access to organic.
Thank you, Samantha. Joseph?
Yeah, for us it's about choice at the end of the day. So we have 3 tiers. We have a single vineyard tier at a higher price point, a middle tier, and then the core tier. And so the core tier is, we're farming about 800 or so acres in Northern California, Mendocino County, and then sourcing from growers throughout the state with a certified farm. So the scale and the level of efficiency really allows us to keep that price where it is. I think it's an interesting, experiment perhaps. I feel like on the dairy side, on the produce side, there's a recognition for organic. People certainly prioritize, when possible, organic choices. When you get to adult beverage, it seems that maybe that prioritization has shifted.
Sure.
Though we do see maybe you've seen the wine category a bit declining. Bonterra is still at like a 5% growth, which is pretty incredible given a declining category. And we see about 30% of the younger folks of age are choosing an organic product, with a certification behind it. So I do think these are important, hopefully ongoing trends.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like these tastings are coming around now. So if each of you can talk a little bit about them. Giovanni.
I think you should have already tried maybe some ice cream with a dash of extra virgin olive oil from Tuscany. Ice cream and extra virgin olive oil, especially if it's fresh, it's a great combination. So if you haven't tried it, try it now or just try it back home. I think you're going to love it.
Yummy. Thank you so much, Samantha.
One of my favorites is being passed around right now. It is our Organic Valley raw sharp cheddar. And what I love about this product is not only it's made from milk from our cows that are outside in pasture and outside in the sunshine and fresh air, but it's wonderful to feel good about a product that's made with such intention. Now, the foodie side of me, you'll have to excuse me, I have to go a little foodie for a moment. So it's actually aged for 6 months, and so that helps with that sharpness that you get from cheddar, but then hopefully you'll taste a little bit of a buttery finish. So it's really something that would taste great with olive oil, with wine, and it is definitely one of my just favorites because it has that like Wisconsin cheddar bite.
I love it. I love it. Joseph, what are people going to sample?
We should have a red blend going around. So the core tier red blend, it'd be a blend of Syrah and Petite Syrah. Petite Syrah is pretty inky, dark grape, so it gives a lot of color, some good body there, some bright fruits hopefully you'll find, and some typical kind of licorice notes and such. At the end of the day, we're really looking for a pairing-friendly wine. So significant amount of acid there. I mean, you don't have to wait for food to enjoy the product, but it does go well with food if you so choose. So yeah, please enjoy.
I hope everyone enjoys it. I want to thank you all. You work in the private sector, but you've chosen a route that is not easy, and you've chosen to do something that your competitors probably have not. And regenerative farming, organic farming, sustainable agricultural practices don't work without all of you doing this work. So thank you for doing it. Give them a round of applause, please. Bigger round of applause. They gave you a lot of food. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you.